Okay, here we go again. We are looking at the number 4 SCA map. A little bit confusing because we are on section 5, page 37 of the Regional Study Guide. This unit introduces 3 geographical regions which commanded southern trade: the Philistine Plain, the Negev, and the Central Transjordan Plateau. During the Age of Nations from 1200 to 740 BC, the Philistines, Judah, Moab, and Edom competed in these regions for control of as much southern commerce as possible. All except Judah were located on major highway. Judah's heartland lay deep in the hill country, and to compete it had to push westward to the international coastal highway in Philistia, south into the Negev and beyond, or to the Transjordanian highway beyond the Rift Valley. During a shorter interlude, prior to the Roman control, local peoples competed in the same regions. Names had been changed, but the economic objective was the same: to control trade passing through the land between. All right, now, I encourage you to read your regions on the run to see some of the things studied on this SCA map. First, you can read pages 16 through 21 if you want to do that, and pause, and then come back, and we're going to do our first markings on the SCA map. I forgot to do this on the last video, but we'll go ahead and label our quadrants. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's helpful to me. It might be helpful to you just to get a sense of that. And we're going to start first by finding the coastal plain. It's this right here. If you find Ashkelon, look down a bit, you'll see the O and the C in coast. We're going to highlight coastal plain, but only the letters only. Otherwise, you're going to have a big old yellow line through the whole thing. Then, same thing with the Shephelah. You go coastal plain, Shephelah, hill country, wilderness, Transjordan. So we'll learn these areas really well. But Shephelah, if you go to quadrant 3, you put your finger in the middle of quadrant 3, just up to the east, northeast a little bit, by Eglon, you'll see the S in Shephelah, H-E-P-H-E-L-A-H, into quadrant 1. Now, hill country, take the S in Shephelah, and if you go across, you'll see Afekah, and then Ziph, and right above that, you'll see Hebron. There's your H for your hill country. Hill country. Okay, and then the wilderness. Find the Dead Sea. To the left here, you'll see the W in wilderness, and then of course that just goes on from there. And then Negev would be down here, in the middle of quadrant 2. Down, you'll find the N floating by itself, and the E's next to Beersheba. G, E, V is right over there by Arad. Okay, so there's our first markings. Now we're going to highlight the following. Oh goodness, no, we still got more. Now we're going to go to the coastal plain. You'll see Philistia here. You're going to highlight the Philistine alluvial plain, smaller right there. Then in quadrant 2, you'll see Western Negev Basin. Over in quadrant 2, right on the line, you'll see Eastern Negev Basin. All right, so position the map. You could use your LB map and your SCA map together. You're going to see the limits of where we are. We're just south of where we were for the GAL map. All right. So if you take time to look at that, you'll see exactly where you are. You can explore on your own on page 37, finding all these different spots, but we're going to find them together. Continue to read page 38. And when you're ready, you can unpause the video Our work in the unit covers 4 specific periods, from the emergence of the nation of Judah through the ensuing conflicts with its neighbors, to the fall of Jerusalem and the exile of many of its inhabitants to Babylon. The story of David and Saul in 1 Samuel received more attention since it contains abundant geographical data. The first one we'll look at is the Philistines entrenched on the southern coastal highway, coveted growing caravan trade across the south, causing Achish, king of Gath, to enlist David, a fugitive from Saul, to patrol the Negev. Then we'll look at the second one is King Mesha of Moab reasserted Moabite independence and expanded upon the Medeba plateau. Number 3, Transjordanian invaders tried to humble Jehoshaphat of Judah and gain control of the southern trade. Number 4, Edom rejoiced in Judah's problems, which left the Negev open for settlement. We are now at number 14, which is the first event we're looking at. A Philistine sheriff, Achish, gave Ziklag to David, and David and his men went up and raided. You can see where this fits on the charts in regions on the run. Now we're going to map on the SCA map here at the bottom of page 38. The first thing we'll do is we will get our orange out. If you look at between 1 and 2, the very center of the map on the seam, right here, you'll see Ephraim, or Ephraim sometimes called. I want you to put an orange box around that. It's sometimes called the strongest tribe in the house of Joseph. Then underneath that, you'll see Benjamin, if you'd underline that in orange. The tribal brother of the house of Joseph. In the very center of the map, you'll see Judah. Take a green box around the tribe of Judah. The southern house of Judah. And then an orange on the city of Bethel on the city dot. Now, just had this. There we go. Between Benjamin and Ephraim, you're going to do on the city dot of Bethel, you're going to do orange. And then on the city dot of Bethlehem and Hebron in Judah. So Bethlehem, so go to Judah here. Bethlehem. And Hebron is south. Should be able to see those pretty easily. Okay. Now I invite you to pause as you read 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 34 through 16, verse 23, and follow the story on the map as the different towns come up. And then read the discussion section. Once you've finished, you can unpause, and then we'll continue with our markings. We'll continue to use the LB map as an additional reference as we trace the routes that we're going to look at. They show the main flow of traffic from the coastal plain where the Philistines lived in the days of David. From here, they systematically kept the tribes of Ephraim and Judah from expanding beyond the hill country in the nearby Shephelah. One of Saul's greatest challenges was to keep the Philistines out of the hills. So on the SCA map, you can find the coastal route running through Gaza. We want to begin where the road enters the map from the southwest. So that would be right here. I'm going to go through Gaza, then up past Ashkelon to Ashdod, to Jabneel, over to Ono, which is on the A in Shephelah, then all the way to Afek, and then off the map. This is the main coastal highway. Second, you'll go to Gaza and find Yerza, which is south of Gaza. Go to Yerza. Highlight an eastern branch of the coastal highway, which begins southwest of Yerza. and runs north via Yerza, Tel El Hesi, Gath, past Ashkelon, what? Excuse me. Gath, Ekron, Gibbethon, Lod, Afek, and off the map. Then from Gaza, you're going to highlight through Gerar, which is straight down here, and then on to Beersheba, and then to Aroer and off the map. Okay. Now we're going to look a little bit more at the map as a whole. We're going to have your green, and we're going to write numbers for where these different events happen. David's triumph over Goliath the Philistine in the valley of Elah, east of Gath on the SCA map, naturally brought in the admiration of many in Israel. Saul's jealousy grew, and David barely escaped alive in Saul's court in Gibeah. Geographical details abound as we follow David's flight and Saul's chase. David found refuge in various regions in and around Judah, but was in constant danger from Saul and his informers. Marking, discussion, and reading, noted by the numbered sites below, are integrated into the following paragraphs, which summarize main themes. You may want to skim the reading and concentrate on the geographical information for now. As you read, write the number of the paragraph in the green dot on the designated place on the SCA map. So the first reading is from 1 Samuel 18:1 through 19:17, and it takes place at Gibeah. And so what you're going to do is you're going to find Gibeah, and just below the term Benjamin, you're going to put a 1 with a circle around it. You can pause the video here, read that paragraph or that passage and the paragraph that follows it. Then we'll go to number 2 is Ramah. You'll see the green here. You'll see the word Ramah. Just above the town Ramah, put a 2 with a circle around it. This is from 1 Samuel 19, verses 18 to 24. I invite you to pause the video, read this, and when you push unpause, we'll go to number 3, which is Nob. If you find number 1, number 2, you're going to go straight below number 1. You'll see the words Mount Scopus. And you'll see right just above Mount Scopus, northeast of Jerusalem, you're going to write the number 3. This is 1 Samuel 21, 1 through 9, and 22, 6 through 19. You can pause the video. And when you come back, we'll be at Gath. Gath is on the intersections of the west edge of the Shephelah You'll find it here. You're going to write the number 4 by the city name. And I invite you to pause and read 1 Samuel 21, verses 10 through 15. Number 5 is Adullam. It's in the Shephelah southeast of Gath. So southeast, right there. You're going to write number 5. I invite you to pause the video and read 1 Samuel chapter 22, verses 1 and 2, and the paragraphs that follow. And then we'll be at number 6. Number 6 is Moab, which is beyond the Dead Sea. You see Moab. You put a number 6 above the word Moab. Circle that. I invite you to pause. Read 1 Samuel chapter 22, verse 34, and the following paragraph. Number 7 is the stronghold. You'll find that on the opposite side of the Dead Sea. It says Masada, the stronghold. It's one of the many places we'll be visiting. Number 7. I invite you to pause So read 1 Samuel chapter 22, verses 4 and 5, and the text that follows. Number 8 will be Keilah. It's in the Shephelah, south of Adullam. This will be number 8. I invite you to pause and read 1 Samuel 23, verses 1 through 13, and then the paragraph that follows. We'll continue on to page 41. The wilderness of Ziph will be northwest of Masada. You'll see here you have wilderness of Maon, but you also have wilderness of Ziph. Right around where the W of wilderness is, you'll see of Ziph. And there is a elevation marker of 638 meters or 2,093 feet. And you'll just put a number 9 there. I invite you to pause. Read 1 Samuel 23 verses 14 through 29 and then the following paragraph. Number 10 is En Gedi on the western shore of the Dead Sea. Put a green 10 above David's Canyon on the map. I invite you to pause. Read 1 Samuel 24 and the paragraphs that follow. Again, we return to the stronghold, number 11, which is south of number 7. I invite you to read 1 Samuel 24, verse 22, and the paragraph that follows, and pause. And then we'll be at the wilderness of Maon. If you go to number 9, the wilderness of Ziph, go straight south of that, you'll see the wilderness of Maon. And it's number 12. I invite you to read 1 Samuel 25 and the paragraph that follows. You continue on to page 42. Once again, we're in the wilderness of Ziph. This time, we're going to be really more to the right of the number 12 by the elevation that says 428, 1404. Put a 13 there. I invite you to read 1 Samuel 26 and the paragraph that follows. Now, number 14, we're back at Gath. Put a 14 near or next to the 4. And I invite you to read 1 Samuel 27, verses 1 through 4. And pause. And then when you return, the last mark is number 15, which is at Ziklag. And I invite you to read 1 Samuel 27, verses 5 through 7, and the paragraphs that follow. Glance over the SCA map and note where the action has taken place. The chapters you have read have taken you across vastly different geographical landscapes of the country, from coastal highways in the valleys of the Shephelah, along high ridges and across the terraced farmlands of the hill country, as well as deep into the refuges of the wilderness and along the shores of the Dead Sea, the lowest point on the face of the earth, to the high Moab tableland below. They have also stretched from central Benjamin by Ephraim and the Negev to the south. These events, more than any other in the Bible, illustrate the area of Judah and the region that surrounds it. Looks to me like I'll be splicing these videos together. So when we'll put a part 2 up, and this will begin with number 8 on that. Yeah, because all these run together. Okay, we're going to continue on map 4. I'll either have put this as part 1 or part 2, or I'll have gone ahead and moved on with it. We're going to be on page 42. We're going to start off by highlighting Gath and Ziklag. Gath is here, where we put 4 and 14. And Ziklag, well, your guess is as good as mine right now. I should have looked that up beforehand. We'll find that in just a second. If you've already found it, congratulations to you. The blue circle around the city names of Gaza. So we'll start down here with Gaza. It's around the city name and the dots, so sort of larger ones. And these are the Philistine centers. Ashkelon, Ashdod Azotus, Ashdod Azotus, which is not Ashdod Yam. All right, perfect. Gath and Ekron. Now, in blue caps, right, Philistines between Ashkelon and Gath. It already says Philistia right there. All right. In small black caps, oh, come on. In small black caps, right, David, a Philistine sheriff in Ziklag. All right, Ziklag has to be around here in this region somewhere. So let's see if we can find it. Usually just pops out like out of nowhere. This is just going to keep going here. So there's Jerusalem, Bethlehem, I feel silly. Oh, there we go. Duh. We had already found Ziklag. Sorry. So highlight Ziklag right here by number 15. All right. Hopefully you fast forwarded past that. David. A Philistine sheriff in the Negev. All right, continue on to page 43. All right. Pause and read this section, and when you finished, continue on these markings. All right, we're going to highlight Hebron, Judah. We already put a dot on Hebron. So go ahead and highlight Hebron. Then highlight Beersheba, Batel Sheva right here. Good. And Arad, which is right here. Hebron, Beersheba, Arad. In small black caps, write Calebites in the open area just above Hebron and elevation. All right, so Calebites. Then Kenites right above Arad. And then Simeon in the open area above Beersheba. So Hebron, Arad, Beersheba, Calebites, Kenites, Simeon. Great. Find the sites between Negev and Hebron. And it doesn't say to mark these or anything. So go ahead and just find them on the map, touch them there. Auror, Ramoth Negev, Jatir, Eshtemoa, and Hebron. The areas of the Kenites, there's Ramoth Negev. And the open space between Debir. So, And small green caps, right? Southern clans of Judah in the open space below Debir, but above Eshtemoa and Carmel. There's Carmel, there's Debir, between, below, like right here, I guess. This is kind of small green cap, southern clans of Judah. Okay, it's kind of messy. Then over here, it's hard to, can you see that? Yeah, all the way over here on the left side of the kilometer mile scale, we're gonna write Amalekites. Amalekites. All right. Perfect. Now I'll be on 44. Pause, read 1 Samuel 27, 8 through 12, and do the discussion. When you've finished, unpause, please. Now we're going to go to a fake, which is up here at the very top of the map. All right, let's see. So it says, highlight a fake Antipatris, which is up here at the very top, and circle it in blue. Now, a blue arrow from load to a fake. Not sweeping arrow, but a straight arrow. And on it, you're going to write Philistine mobilization. All right, goodness. Philistine mobilization. Believe me, it says that. And then a green arrow from Gibbethon to the end of the blue arrow. There's Gibbethon. And we will do from here to here. And we will write David and his men. Okay. Now I invite you to read 1 Samuel 28, 1 through 6, and 29, 1 through 11. Read the discussion. Then continue on page 45. Pause and read 1 Samuel 30, 1 through 6, and then we'll continue here on the SCA map. Sweeping orange arrows from the term Amalekites, right there, toward Beersheba Tel Sheva. So sweeping orange arrow. And then from Beersheba Tel Sheva to Ziklag. And then from Ziklag southwest toward the Amalekites. So they're moving all around in here. Got it? Okay. Then a red circle around Ziklag. And small black caps on arrow A, which this was arrow A. Amalekite attack. And then on arrow C, Amalekites take spoil. You see the story coming alive here. Now you're going to do sweeping green arrows from Tel El Irene to Ziklag. So where would that be? Have we already found that? Tel El Irene toward Ziklag. All right, so a sweeping green arrow. All right, and then from Ziklag, southwest, parallel to orange arrow 21C, above, but not as long. In small black caps, right, David returns to Ziklag. And then this one, David pursues. All right, I invite you now to read 1 Samuel 30, verses 7 through 31, and do the discussion. And come to the back, read the remainder of page 46, beginning with event 15, continue through, do the reading here. And now we're moving to our final event, I believe, on this map. No, we have two more actually. All right, now we're going to be on page 47. This is for event 15. So now we're going to be on this side over here, okay? So, first off, we're going to start south of Kir. North Dibon. Okay, where's Kir? There's Dibon. Kir is right here. Okay, so south of Kir, north via Dibon to Medeba, then northeast to Rabbah, and then north off of the map. All right, so that's the Transjordanian Highway. We're going to highlight the Arnon Canyon, which is right here by Dibon. It says Arnon Mujib Canyon. Highlight Dibon. And in small black caps, write Misha's base. Okay. Highlight Jericho. And you're going to highlight the northern non-italicized Jericho name. So it's right here, Dead Sea, right there, non-italicized one. Okay, great. And Bethel in the hill country. Now Bethel's over here, we've already got an orange dot on it. Okay, that's in 1 Kings 16:34. Now a blue box around the regional name Moab, just down here, where you put circle number 6, and a blue box around the city name of Dibon. Okay, continue to do the reading, and then we'll continue on with number 6, unmarking the SCA map. A red city dot on all of the city names in the region above. where shall we start here? Well, I see one. There's Nebo. Okay. And we need Kiriathaim right there. And Beth Baal-meon. And Jahaz. And Aroer. And Almon Diblathaim, which is where it says here, Beth Diblathan. You also need Medeba. And so we still need Bezer. Right here. And we got Nebo. What about Jahaz? Got Jahaz, got Bezer, got Aroer, got Beth Baal-meon, got Medeba, got Beth Diblathan, which is Almon Diblathaim. And did we get Ataroth? Or Kerioth? Kerioth is there, Ataroth is there. All right, we got them all. Red city dots on all the names. Okay, sweeping blue arrows, which are Misha's military moves, from Moab across the Arnon to Dibon. And in small black caps, write Misha. From Dibon along the route to Jahaz. From Dibon toward Medeba. Sweeping orange arrows, which these are Israel's move to Jahaz, from Jericho via Nebo to the Medeba plateau. And on that orange arrow, you're going to write Israel. Okay. Then just southeast of the Medeba plateau to Jahaz. Okay. And an orange circle around Jahaz. And then small black caps write Israel's base just above Jahaz. Okay. Now, continue on with the discussion there. And I'll have to continue this video with events number 16 and number 17. Okay, we're going to continue with SCA Map, looking at event number 16. You'll need your Bible, your map, regions on the run, and your regional study guide. So we're going to be on event 16, Southern Attack, Moabites, Ammonites, and Meunites came to make war. Around 850, Israel and Judah jointly responded to Moab's rebellion. Their campaign is described in detail in 2 Kings 3, 4 through 27, with a brief mention of the revolt itself. Judah's decision to march with Israel against Moab must have tested Israel-Judah relations. Jehoshaphat was, after all, a descendant of Ruth the Moabite. His hesitancy is heard in the straightforward questions to put him into by Jehoram, king of Israel. To show support, Jehoshaphat pressed Edom into battle, probably against its will. Together, Israel, Judah, and Edom entered the territory of Moab, but withdrew after their siege of Kir Hareseth failed. Moab quickly responded to what it saw in Judah's treachery, probably the same year. Moab mobilized her allies in Transjordan, and together they descended to the Dead Sea, crossing by the stronghold, now called Masada, and then north through the wilderness oasis of En-Gedi. Here they prepared for a surprise attack on Judah. So take a moment, pause the video, and read 2 Corinthians 20, verses 1 through 3, and verse 10, verse 23, and verse 22. There's optional discussion, and then we're going to mark on the SCA map. So we're going to start by doing a sweeping blue arrow from here down in Moab. Okay, so Kir is right here. All right, so we're going to start in Kir in Moab, and we're going to go past, we're going to be going westbound. So to Bob et Dera, I have no idea how to say that. That's a lot of consonants. Across the Dead Sea and up the western shore to En-Gedi. So where we have number 10. So we're just going to do a sweeping blue arrow. It's not too defined. All right, there we go. And then on small caps, right, Moab, Ammon, men of Seir. Moab, Ammon, men of Mount Seir. Okay. Take a moment, pause the video, and read the discussion on the bottom of page 48, and then we'll return with number 3 marking on the SCA map. Number 3, we'll need a red circle, and we're going to go to En-Gedi right here. And we're going to do a red circle around En-Gedi and the ascent of Ziz. Just include both of those in your big red circle. Good. And then we'll need a green box around Jerusalem. Now, to get to Jerusalem, I would say go up to the top of the Dead Sea and go over to the west, and you'll find Jerusalem right here. So a green box around Jerusalem. Okay. We're going to continue on to page 49. And a sweeping green arrow from Jerusalem via Bethlehem, which is straight south, to Koa, which is south again, and to En-Gedi over here. So this is a sweeping green arrow, not super defined. And then on this line, you're going to write Jehoshaphat. Jehoshaphat. I encourage you to continue to read the paragraph here, and then take a break and read 2 Chronicles 20, verses 3 through 30. Okay? All right, now this one, we're going to be using the LB map. So I'm going to go ahead and switch it up a bit. And going to get the LB map. All right. Go ahead and lay that LB map on top of the SCA map, because we will need it one more time. We're going to be working on this bottom half of the map right here, so I'm going to go ahead and zoom us in. Oops, goodness gracious. Zoom us in a little bit on that. Okay. This is event 17. Edom's incessant advance. In the final event, we look again at the Great Southern Crossing, which you saw earlier on the LB map. The route from Bozrah and Edom via Tamar to the Negev and on to Gaza. Note that the most of the discussion and marking instructions are related to LB map, although it's helpful to keep SCA map in view. So we're gonna see like this section here, right? You see how that's that, right? It's this, it's about half of that. This bottom section is not included. So we're gonna start by number 1 here. We're gonna highlight the cities of Basra, Petra, and Gaza. So take the Dead Sea, go down about 3 inches, actually go down about 2 inches, and go over to the east and you'll see Basra. That's the capital of Edom. I'm gonna highlight that. Take this highway all the way south to the end of the map, over just a little bit towards the center, and you'll see Petra. And then to get to Gaza, you're actually going to go to quadrant 3 here. You're gonna look on the coast, on the coastline right there. You've already put a red dot on Gaza, so you're gonna highlight the city name. Now we're gonna highlight the regions of Edom and Philistia. Edom is over here. We go Ammon, Moab, Edom, Gilead, Bashan, Aram, Damascus. This is this whole area, right? So we go Edom, Moab, Ammon. And so we're going to highlight the letters of Edom, which is right here, Edom. And then we're going to go over here to Philistia, right there, and we'll just highlight the name. Okay? We're going to highlight, well, it says to highlight the word Edom, so we'll do that too. All right. Then it says highlight Negev on the 5 letters only. All right, so Negev is here. All right. If you find Gaza, go southeast. You'll find the N of Negev. There's G-E-V. And then Southern Highlands are in here. Go to quadrant 3, in the middle, go down a little south, you'll see the name. I'm going to highlight the entirety of that. And then we're going to highlight the Basra-Gaza route via Tamar, Aroer, and Gerar. So, we'll start in Basra. We're going to head to Tamar. And then we're going to go to Aroer. And then we're going to go over to Gerar and then on to Gaza. All right, so there is the Basra-Gaza route. Take a pause, read the discussion, and we'll come back with these markings on the LB map on the top of page 50. We're going to start with a blue sweeping arrow from Basra to Tamar. Okay? In small black caps, we're going to write Edomite advance. Okay? And we're going to put a red circle around Tamar. All right. You'll see that none of this is visible on the SCA map. It's all south of what is visible. Take a moment, read the discussion, and when you finish, unpause, and we'll return to marking number 8. We're going to highlight Arad. So, quadrant 3. Take the Gaza-Basra route. You're going to see Beersheba. And if you keep going over here to the east, you'll see the word eastern, and right above that, you'll see Arad. There's Arad down here, and there's Arad up here. We're going to go here where it says Tel Arad. So highlight Arad. Green line should be somewhere nearby there. Then you're going to highlight Ramoth Negev and Uzzah in the eastern Negev. So find the G and the E of the word Negev. You're going to highlight Ramoth Negev. And then find Arad again, and straight south of that you'll find Uzzah. All right. Now, blue sweeping arrow from Tamar to the Negev by Tel Ira. Okay. And a red circle around, number 11 is a red circle around Ramoth Negev. And in small black caps, you're going to write Edomite Advance on that arrow. Again, Edomite Advance, Edomite Advance. All right, now, this last one, blue circle around H. Kitmeet, a nearby Edomite settlement. I looked for this forever, could not find it. It's because it's not on the LB map, it's on the SCA map. So the location of this is going to be right here, south of Uzzah, the other Arad, right in this area. But to be able to mark it on the map, I'm going to go back to the SCA map. We'll look middle of the map, bottom of the map, the marker 160 and 150. If you go up between that, you'll see H. Kitmeet, and you'll do a blue circle. Just to put it in context, we see that Gaza to Basra route, Gaza, Gerar, and then it will go on down this way to Tamar and on to Basra. Everything else would be south of this map. All right, well, congratulations. You have now finished the SCA map. And so go take a break. Congratulate yourself. It was a very long one. And then we're going to move on to our map number 6, the Judah map.